Kind of realized that. I was like, oh, I'm silver rank.
Just 2 sour-ass tangerines. Oh no.
And let's open an alchemy pack.
They're not survive.
L.
That's a tomato.
I thought you ate tangerines, not tomatoes.
Wait. Oh, like gummy worm? Sour gummy worm? Okay. Yeah, I can imagine that would definitely feel weird. Like when you're trying to just eat a tangerine. Like you don't expect that out of a tangerine, you know? Like I don't think it would be, like, weird if you were expecting it. But like if you're not expecting it, then yeah. Now I gotta go get my ice cream. I'll be right back.
Fuck. 1 second. Oh. Goddamn politics text. I fucking hate election season. Like, I don't mind a political ad on TV or on the internet. You text me shit, I'm gonna throw hands. Now we know who the yatagarsu really was. And yet, there remains much to this case that needs to be resolved.
And now you...
L.
I need a new chair.
Flesh is weak.
Okay. There's a space set coming out in 2025? Chat Wizard is trying to take all my money. Yeah.
I'm back.
Hey.
Like how the weapons cross country lines, for example. The two countries have incredibly strict security systems and entry procedures. Short of a miracle, it's impossible for someone to have smuggled them in.
Smuggle them in, huh? We need to open a new line of investigation on just that aspect alone. But before we do, I would like to go through my evidence once more.
Unnecessary evidence tossed in the trash.
Hey, there's a VCR here! Convenient.
Yeah.
Now we can see what's on that tape Detective Bad gave us. This piece of evidence from the KG-8 incident, hidden from sight for 10 long years. I think I know that this is related to the current case somehow. Detective Gumshoe, could you please press play on the tape? Sure thing, sir!
Place
Alright,
the tape
class.
on the ring.
Alright, class, hold up, we're gonna get cursed. He has a smuggler's card and a knife. That does not look good.
This man, it's Manny Coachman.
And he's holding a knife in his hand!
This looks like... Oh, it's this guy.
Yeah.
This looks like footage from a security camera at the entrance of an apartment building.
An apartment building? How do you figure that?
And Neo died.
Unlike you, I actually read the summary file on the KG-8 incident. Read. And the crime scene was the victim's own apartment.
So this footage was shot at the entrance of the victim's own apartment building.
That's a trial. Mr. Faraday claims that this piece of footage existed.
Oh hey, I actually sold something on my Steam, on the Steam market. Get $5 whole. However, no one can find it.
And Neo died. Hello?
Sorry, I'm talking to my mom right now. I'll be back in a bit.
Okay.
Talk about figuring out, people to talk to for news story projects. I'm gonna do... I mean, the easiest thing I'm gonna do is just talk to people about Hurricane Milton. So I'm gonna do a news story about, like, people who left, who, like, evacuated because of what they remember of Ian. So I'm gonna do that.
know why is that wild?
What?
Technically speaking, Magic the Gathering exists in Fallout. And there's a Fallout Magic the Gathering set.
I know. You told me.
I mean, someone could play Vault 12 the Necropolis in pre-war. I don't know where Vault 12 is. Just Google that real quick. Fallout's right? Oh, in California and go. Wait a minute. I'm assigned to Vault 12. What does this mean? What does this mean? And then the Vault Tech snipers kill them. Waiting on
Francisco.
Neo.
Yeah.
They must be having a deep conversation.
Yeah.
Alright, sorry that took so long. Yes, somehow someone was able to steal it and hide it through Mr. Ernest Amano.
Deep conversation you had there.
I can see now. See how this would have a definitive piece. Why someone wanted to hide it. But it's a piece of evidence from a 10-year-old case. There's no way it's related to this case we're working on now, sir. Actually, I believe it has everything to do with this case we're working on now. The ringleader even went as far as to use Mr. Portsman to retrieve it. Which means that in this video lies a very inconvenient bit of footage for the ringleader. Where? Where? Wait, what was that? Huh? Sadako Yamamura?
Oh.
The bit you played just now. Please, show it to me again. This car. This is something we can't overlook. Why's that, sir? Look here, Detective Gumshoe.
It has an alabaster flag.
Take that! No, it doesn't. It has the... This is the national flag of the Principality of Codopia. And because it has the national flag on it, we know this to be an official government car. The question we should be asking ourselves is, what was a government car doing there?
I found a new Silent Hill 2 mod where the pipe is Mary.
I saw that.
Miss Von Karama and Mr. Edgeworth, so you were here all this time.
He did it. He's a killer. He's a murderer.
Neo, it's your little...
Sorry, too busy laughing at Mary Pipe. Ambassador Alba.
In my restless dreams. I see that house.
Metal pipe falling.
Thank you very much for continuing the investigation, even at this time of night.
Oh, we don't have metal pipe sound in our
If only I was even a tiny bit more careful.
You should fix that.
This tragedy would never ever happen. I am truly sorry.
This wasn't your fault, sir. This had nothing to do with how careless you were.
You idiot, Corcus! You couldn't chase after a simple thief! Now then, let's get down to the real reason why I came looking for the two of you. I would like you to put the investigation on hold for a while. Can you do that? Can you do that for little old me?
Excuse me?
I heard you apprehended the thief that turned this embassy upside down. And we are in the middle of an event celebrating our country's recollection. We can't exactly have the police and detectives walking around here forever. You're scaring the visitors away, so I hope that you can understand how I feel.
must finish our investigation and resolve the remaining issues. It's him. He did it. He's the one.
Why don't we lead the rest to the Alabastrian and Babalese police? I am old and frail. My back hurts. I am 50,000 years old. I am like a tree.
Ambassador, we are so close. Just a little more and...
Miss Von Karma, I'm afraid I made up my mind. And without my permission, you can't proceed with your investigation anyway, right?
Goddamn, Mega Ran doing another wrestling theme. Good for him. Dude's getting that money. That wrestle money.
That's true. However...
Oh right, he's getting that money. As he said at the very beginning, this area can be considered to be Alabastian soil. In which case, we are nothing but foreigners in their land. Is this really where our investigation ends?
Hold it!
Shifu! We found Mr. Edwards, sir!
Shifu, this way!
Yo.
Oh god, the bottom is here. Agent Bottom. Get back on the scene rather quickly.
If I laid back and took a break, I lose the scent of my prey, Mr. Prosecutor.
Agent Lang,
Sunglasses are fucking stupid.
It fits well with my haircut.
Nothing fits with your haircut.
Agent Lang, why have you returned?
Because I have to solve this case no matter what.
Well, I'm sorry to inform you that, and don't take this the wrong way, I don't suspect you personally. However, a member of Interpol was just found to be a thief, and so... Under these circumstances, I wish to put your investigation on hold. After all, I believe our own police can handle things from here. They are quite capable.
Mind backing that up with a source?
I owe the city.
That's not a source. This rare investigation really will come to a close.
Ambassador Alba, I get it now, I really do.
Oh, I'm very glad you understand how I feel.
No, not that. What I was talking about is... I know who the killer is behind tonight's murder!
You!
No?
The...
Killer!
Do you really mean that, Agent Lang?
Heh, wolves don't lie.
Then who is it?
Well, let me first say that I'm not talking about Mr. Cochin's murder. That was all Sheena. Lang Zi says the truth lies not at the exit, but rather shines outside the maze itself. The truth is unexpectedly simple. So let me ask you this. Who do you think was the Mass 2's killer? I'll tell you who. It was you, Francisca Von Karma!
What?
What the fuck?
Bro. You bitch.
What the fuck, Lang?
I was the killer?
Hey, wait! But that's impossible!
Yeah! Although, that whip is actually quite... Ah, God!
Hold
I'm
your tongue
starting
and
to get
that
into it.
ludicrous remark you were about to make!
Agent Lang, are you seriously accusing her of murder?
Yeah, I am.
He doesn't appear to be joking.
Hey sis, I remember that just before Ambassador Alba went to give his speech. He called you into his office, right?
Yes, he did. But what does that have to do with anything?
I'm getting to that. Furthermore, in order to solve both cases, you moved around rather freely between Alabast and Babal, did you not?
And where is your evidence that I am the killer?
I was just getting to that. Trust me, I'll show them to you in due time. Ambassador Alba, in order for me to bring this case to a close, I'll need to inspect your office one more time. Will you grant me permission?
With things that they are, I suppose I don't have much of a choice, do I?
Good. Then let's move out! Oh, and don't even think about running away, sis. My pack will be keeping a close eye on you. You can bet your bottom dollar on that.
As if I would have any reason to flee. But just so we're clear, your logic had better be sound. Because I'll accept nothing short of a perfect explanation.
Upset? She's fucking pissed.
Yeah.
Lang, what the fuck? You take 2 steps forward for being cool until 50 steps back. What the fuck? He's accusing my wife!
She seems rather upset, not that I blame her.
I expected that you accept no less. But we'll see how long you can keep that nose of yours stuck up in the air like that.
Arrgh!
Hold it! Agent Lang! You really are a bottom. And you're accusing a top. As someone related to tonight's case, I request that you allow us to take part. So that I may clean up my superior's mess.
I guess I should. The more the merrier, especially when it's the peanut gallery.
Oh, in that case, I want to join in too. I still haven't seen what it looks like in the Outback yet.
If you like carrying, you gotta let me in too, pal. Can't sit around here and do nothing while Miss Von Kamm is in trouble.
Hey, Gummy, let's have a competition to see who can save her first, okay?
It's gonna be me, I'm gonna win.
Alright, pal. I'll take you up on that. Gun. Shoot the child. Oh yeah, I'm fired up and raring to go. As a detective, I don't believe this is something you're supposed to be excited over.
Sounds like this is going to get real interesting. Ambassador Alba, I'll be bringing these kids along for the ride.
Very well. But I'd like you to keep in mind that this will be your last chance.
I'll have this whole mess cleaned up before you know it. Now let's go! Okay, now let's first go over the facts one more time. Manny Kochan's body was found over in the Secretariat's office in Babal. The weapon that took his life was one of Alaba's ceremonial knives. And then the body of Damas II, Mr. Kashinao, was found here in the Alabastian ambassador's office. Through our investigation, we found that the murder weapon was a primitive statue, and that this is actually Babal's statue. This case, no matter how I look at it, sis, if it wasn't you, then there's no one else who could have pulled this off.
Agent Wang, do you understand the full implications of what you are saying?
Of course I do, sis, and I'm serious. You were on the trail of the smuggling ring, and you wanted any evidence you could find. And so, while people were distracted by the yatagarsu appearance, you snuck in here. That's when you two ran into each other. You and that other thief who took advantage of the confusion from the fire!
Even if all that were true, how do you explain the movement of the weapons?
Don't worry, I plan to show you that you're the culprit behind that too. You have permission to investigate both embassies at will. With that kind of free reign, you could have easily taken the weapons. Hey now! You try to whip me, you can't! Look, sis, I thought I already told you I'm not messing around here. You can't whip me. Ha 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 ha.
Thinking about it. Manifesting whipping.
I'll just catch that too.
Me too. I'll do that all the time.
This case isn't directly tied to the smuggling ring, but she not certainly is tied to the smuggling ring.
He is right in saying that she is a member of the smuggling ring. However, the connection between this case and the ring could it not be deeper than any of us can imagine.
Let's get this ridiculous circus over with already!
Francisca, you need to calm down.
I am calm!
No, you're not.
I am as cool as a cucumber!
That's one pissed off cucumber.
I threw this away real quick.
Because you only knew the facts of the alabaster inside of the case. Ah, shit. Oh, well. I don't believe you can see the case as a whole and therefore solve it.
Back. What?
Don't worry, I am taking this seriously as well. And I will prove your innocence.
That's the only way to be, Mr. Prosecutor. But can you come up with anything else that could top my hypothesis? Of course, your explanation has to solve the mystery of the moving weapons as well.
Ugh, I hate toxic players. Of course, and I will. Now let us delve into the truth behind the murder of Damask 2.
You do understand, don't you, Miles Edgeworth? This isn't just a confrontation against Agent Lang. I think you skipped something. Yeah. If you can't figure out how the murder of Damask 2 is related to the smuggling ring, then it will mean the end of our investigation.
As long as I have no good counter-argument to his hypothesis, the best I can do is walk on this thin tightrope and see what I can do.
Come on, Mr. Prosecutor, let's get started.
Ooh, baby.
Yes, let's.
One of Alabast's knife was used in Babal to murder Mr. Cochin. And the murder weapon to killing on Damask 2 is Babal's primitive statue. Somehow, these two objects were able to penetrate the two countries' impenetrable security. The only one who traversed the two countries just before and after the crime was you.
So long as I can't explain how the weapons moved about, Francisco will remain a suspect. Sorry.
You got it, Mr. Prosecutor. So why don't you stop giving me a hard time? Under these circumstances, who the heck can carry a weapon across country lines? I worked through every possibility, but there's only one that's plausible. Your boss!
Agent Lang, what I've learned from you just now is that you've lost sight of yourself.
What are you talking about?
By focusing too intently on that which is in front of us, you've become blind to the truth. Don't tell me that Lang Z never said anything to that effect.
You prosecutor! Who do you think you are speaking about Langzi's proverbs like that?
I don't need his proverbs. Because my words are all you need to see the truth.
Mask got eaten.
Agent Lang, those two items are not the only two to cross the border tonight.
Oh.
The Mask 2 was killed with Babal's primitive statue, yes. I'm not dealing with two fucking planeswalkers. Keep your fucking tax evasion to yourself. But if that's the case, then tell me, where did Alaba's primitive statue go?
To Babal.
Precisely! And if the two statues really were switched, then this means that both statues were smuggled across the border at some point. Which means there's a total of 3 items that were smuggled across the embassies!
I guess so. But you know what? It doesn't matter the number of items, only that the sis is the only one who could have done it. Because the only person who went back and forth between Alabas and Babal is her!
Is that really true? Was there no one else who traveled between the two countries? Actually, there's definitely another person. One who paid a visit to both sides of the wall.
Objection!
Is that really so, Agent Lang?
What a lousy time to try and bluff your way out of this! I checked out what guards said, along with the security camera's footage. You're not going to overturn my hypothesis that easily.
Objection!
Nuh-uh.
Damn it.
But suppose there was some other way other than through the theater doors.
What other way?
The other entity that managed to cross the border unharmed. If I point it out, it would open up a whole new possibility. Although I hesitate to bring this out. As long as this entity exists, the impossible road becomes a possibility.
It looks like you got some clever idea in mind.
Yes, gun. I do, and I can show it to you through a single piece of evidence.
Fine then. Let's see this piece of evidence that will show me this other route.
Take that!
Agent Lang, I'm sure you are familiar with this unforgettable photo.
That supernatural photo? Like I said before. Humans can't fly!
No, of course not. I understand that perfectly well.
And don't start claiming that Sheena somehow grew wings either.
I wouldn't dream of claiming that.
I won't allow you to take back what you said either. I'll say it again. It's not humanly possible to fly through the air without wings. So you better have a good explanation for this, Mr. Prosecutor!
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the board, Lord Skinner Sewer King! What, you think you can get rid of my cards that easily? Ugh! But how can I prove it was that who it was that flew through the air in that photo? Wait, not humanly possible. Eureka! Very well. You will have your explanation.
It sounds like you have a good idea simmering inside that head of yours. Let's hear it! The face hidden within this photo's blurry trail shadow is...
Take that! Naturally, the shadow is the third smuggled object, the primitive statue replica.
You can't be serious! God, I hate my fucking job.
Yatagarsu, or rather Callisto Yu, dressed as Agent Sheena, was inside the ball. She dressed the replica statue up in clothes and launched it through the air.
Ha! Mr. Prosecutor! You left out a very crucial bit in your explanation.
Did I, my good bitch? I know I did.
She launched it through the air? Ha! And how exactly did she do that?
Oh my god.
Gumshoe, kill this man.
Why am I here?
Why
Get the
am I
whip.
here?
He's literally banging his fangs at me.
I want to grab Shilon Lang's fucking teeth. Like his fangs. Like that one tiger lady does. Boop.
Boop.
Phoenix Eye. You're Phoenix Eye.
But he has a point. what? How exactly did it move through the air like that? As long as this remains unsolved, we won't be able to move any closer to the truth. Which reminds me, didn't he say that earlier?
Hey sis, I remember just before Ambassador Alba went to give his speech, he called you into his office, right?
So just before the murder, Francisco was called here, right into this very room. I'll be right back.
Alrighty.
Sorry about that.
You're okay.
If that's the case, then there may be another avenue I can pursue. Agent Lang, in order for me to answer that question, I will need to hear testimony from Miss Von Karma.
Oh? What are you up to now, pretty boy?
Sit your $5 ass down before I make change. Earlier, you mentioned something of interest to me. You said that just before the murder occurred, Miss Von Karma had been in this room because the Ambassador Alba had called for her. And for that reason alone, you believe her to be the killer.
Yeah, I guess I did say something like that.
Eliza says what? In that case, I believe it is my duty to ask her what her side of the story is.
Ha! Do you really think a criminal would tell us the honest truth?
How dare you! As I've said numerous times, there is absolutely no proof that I am the killer! Miles Edgeworth, don't tell me you suspect me too!
I don't. However, I can't ignore the fact that you were in this room at one point in time. Which is why I would like to hear it from you.
And Neo died.
Come on!
Francisca, I feel like I still don't have enough information. Which is why your testimony is incredibly important to the outcome of this case. Alright.
That's Francisca.
Alright. So, what would you like me to talk about?
Can you please testify to your movements up until you came into this room?
Alright, let's try this your way for a change. But what she has to say turns out to be a waste of time. I'll place her under arrest faster than you can howl. No!
You can't out-heal me. As you wish. Okay, cunt.
And Neo died.
As I said earlier, I was assigned to guard duty in the Anabastian embassy. After I saw the Steel Samurai off on his way towards the ambassador's office, I returned to the Rose Garden for a bit and checked up on the security situation. After all the preparations were in place, I was called back by Ambassador Alba to his office.
Francisca, I want us to make this clear from the very beginning. So what I wish to confirm is that the only time span in which you were in this office was before the murder occurred. Is that correct?
Yes, of course.
I see. For now, the only way I can see for us to break out of this situation is to ask Francisca about her testimony in more detail. Hold it! At that time, Damas's body yet to be found in his room. Is that correct?
That's right. But Ambassador Alba was here. One could hardly miss his rather large presence.
That's right, I am very large.
A criminal will say anything to get out of getting arrested. How do we know you're not lying?
Well, if you need proof, I'd be happy to oblige you.
Seriously?
Like I keep telling you. When I arrived at this office, Ambassador Alba was already here. He was standing by the flower box on the windowsill, watering his plants.
I can attest to that. I remember speaking with a lovely lady around that time here in my office.
Alright then. Add that statement to your testimony, let's hear some details.
So, Ambassador Alba was in this very room at that time, was he? Hold it! For the sake of being thorough, I'd like to ask you something. How did you know that Ambassador Alba was watering his plants on the windowsill?
What do you mean by that?
The entrance to this room is on this side. However, the window is on the opposite side. If what you say is true, then when you entered this room, his body would have been like a wall. It would have been blocking your view of what he was doing. Is that not correct? I suppose it was a bit hard to see around him.
That's Francisca. Ah!
I suppose it was a bit hard to see around him. But fortunately for me, Ambassador Alba is not an immovable wall. I knocked before I entered, and as I did, he turned around to greet me. With a watering can in his hand. So it's only natural to believe that he was watering his plants, right?
I mean, he literally has a potted plant of this.
Bonsai tree that looks like him.
Yeah.
Even if I die, my tree will live forever.
I suppose.
And Neo died.
After his greeting, we spent a little time talking about his flowers. He had obtained them himself, and is growing them with the utmost care, you know.
Yes. The plants in this room, they are like my children.
The passion flowers in the flower box on the windowsill are growing beautifully too. All 4 of them are in full bloom.
Cute. These plants are my kids now. I don't like... They don't... I hate children. These plants are my children.
Just look at me for real.
Miss Von Karma, what did you say just now?
I said that the flowers are growing beautifully. What about that statement do you not understand?
What do I not understand? I do not understand why a certain thing is the way it is. I'd like for you to append that statement of your testimony.
Very well. There were 4 large passion flowers in full bloom in the flower box. But there were only 2.
Exactly.
You lie. Or something's really weird. Excuse me.
Francisca, for some odd reason, your testimony contradicts with this piece of evidence.
Yeah, she...
It does appear that way.
Ha! I knew it! I knew we couldn't trust your words, sis!
Mr. Edgeworth, what are you doing discrediting Miss Von Karma like this?
Ah, great, now he's the bad guy.
Yeah, sure. Yes, sir. If you keep this up, she's gonna get taken away, sir. Ah!
All I've done is state what I saw. I have not made a single mistake in my testimony. And for this, I am still under suspicion for murder. Is the number of flowers really all that important at this juncture, Miles?
At the very least, it's a contradiction in this enigmatic case. One that I find it hard to dismiss as irrelevant.
Ha! Then let's hear it, Mr. Prosecutor. What does the number of flower have to do with anything? What does it prove?
I believe the answer to that will become clear if we examine the flower box. How did this contradiction come about? There must be something behind this discrepancy.
They're my beloved flowers. I grew them with the utmost care, so I ask you that you please be gentle with them as you examine them, Mr. Edgeworth.
I understand.
Ah!
Wait a minute. Wait a minute.
Huh. Oh, with the two hair sticks. Yeah. I didn't think about that.
Yeah, I knew they looked familiar. Now who we need? Now who we need plant-based equipment? I should say who would steal plant-based why did she not steal plant-based equipment? There you go.
Oh yeah.
This patch of soil looks as though it had something removed from it.
Ha! What are you doing, Mr. Prosecutor? Why you clam up all of a sudden? I'm still here waiting for an explanation, you know.
Did you know, Agent Lang? Flowers are best appreciated in silence. Seems like two things were pulled out of this flower box. The name of these flowers, I believe they're called passion flowers. Despite being called flowers, they're actually a species of vine. They appear to be growing well. They're well supported by these plant supports.
Yeah, but no matter how I look at it, it looks like there's only two here to me. You realize, don't you, sis? Your little lie has failed you.
Miles Edgeworth! Hurry up and shut this man up for me already!
Show him evidence.
I believe I have just a piece of evidence you require.
Oh, you do you? You have such confidence in the face of your current plight. But I highly doubt it lasts until the end.
You howl like a wolf agent, Yang. Lang. But we'll see if you have any bite to back up that bark when you see the evidence.
Here's your evidence.
The hair sticks?
Yeah. They're actually plant equipment.
Hmm.
But why did she steal them, though?
Yeah, that's weird. Is it some treasure or something? I don't know.
Or weapon.
Sheena, who was supposedly in Babal the entire time, had these hair sticks on her. They look exactly like plant supports for this flower box. In other words, I believe it can be said that these hair sticks are in actuality support sticks for the passion flowers.
Ha! And so what? Is this really all that important to the case?
Of course, it is. It means that we found yet another item that was smuggled between countries tonight. Silence, Bottom. Think about it logically, Agent Bottom. These sticks were originally in Alabast, but somehow they wound up in Sheena's hands, who was in Babal the whole night. Let's make no mistake, these sticks were smuggled somehow, just like the knife in the statue.
Very well then. I want to hear from you exactly how they wound up in Babal.
How did these support sticks find their way to Babal, and why? There must be some reason as to why they ended up there. Aha! So that's why. Agent Lang, please take a look at this and tell me its shape.
It's just another stick, isn't it?
And so it is. But the shape of the support stick is what's important.
Oh, I get it.
When they are used with something in this room, that's when it all comes into focus. An object completes the picture when used with the support sticks is...
The crossbow.
Oh, they're arrows. Didn't think about that.
Not arrows, bolts.
Yeah, bolt.
Ah.
That's a crossbow? Wait, you're not really suggesting?
I am. These hair sticks, or rather plant support sticks, they make for perfect bolts.
Wayne just goes into fight position.
I've done it. I found find the common thread that connects the two offices. Literal thread.
Yep.
But this thread has yet to be completely untangled. Even using the bolts, how does this explain how the statue was transported? Furthermore, who could have been who fired the sticks as arrows? Bolts. There must be a common thread that ties all the sticks together. I keep fucking it up.
Mr. Prosecutor, hold up a second. You do realize what happened when you tie a statue to an arrow, right? They don't fly at all! So Babal's statue was draped in the yatagarsu's clothes and then shot over here? Even you fired the arrows from this side, they wouldn't go far with a statue tied to them. I don't think I need to tell you that the prima new statue didn't sprout wings. You're a realist after all, aren't you?
The primitive statues didn't spout wings. Of course they didn't.
Glad you understand. I feel much better now. I was afraid for a second that you weren't aware of that crucial fact.
Silence, Bottom. It's only crucial because you're under the belief that the wings are necessary for this equation.
What?
You need to free your mind a bit more. Let it fly like a bird on the wind. The primitive statues flew, but not on a wing. Allow me a bit of your time, and I'll explain the mysterious phenomenon to you. Hold it! But we are in agreement that a bolt by itself would reach your side, correct?
But just a bolt by itself is pretty meaningless, don't you think, Mr. Prosecutor? Because the things they wanted to smuggle were a lot bigger than nothing!
No, that's not necessarily true.
What?!
What I need right now is not further discussion of my conclusions, it's the launching of my conclusions. What the shooter wanted to launch with the crossbow was not the statues themselves, but rather something the crossbow can launch and can be used to move the statues.
If it wasn't a statue that was tied to the arrows, then what did the crossbow launch? The wire. The old bucket of water trick. The old bucket on a string trick.
Finally. Finally, we have reached this point in our discussion. For I present to you that which was carried by the arrow from the crossbow.
Ha! I get it now, Mr. Prosecutor. I can see exactly what you're trying to say. You're saying that the wire was tied to a bolt and then shot to Mr. Cochin's office. all the way from the 5th floor of the Alabastian Embassy, down to the 3rd floor of the Babalese Embassy. If what you're claiming is really what happened, I can see how Alabast's Primadu's statue could be moved. Gravity could be used to move that statue down the wire from the 5th to the 3rd floor. But then, what about Babal's Primadu's statue? The dark shadow in the photo is clearly flying away from Babal, going in the opposite way of gravity from the 3rd floor of the Babalese Embassy up to the 5th floor of the Alabastia Embassy. How do you explain that? I got it.
The fucking ceiling fans.
Aha! I think I finally see how the gears behind this whole trick work.
Too late, figured it out. Too slow on the drawer, Joyce.
Agent Lang, the motion used behind this trick. I wonder if perhaps you have yet to envision how it works in your head.
Motion? What motion?
Rotary motion.
Rotary.
Yeah, thanks. You know, the thing that goes around and around and around and around and around.
The thing that goes, you spin me right round, baby, right round like a record,
baby.
like a record, baby. I don't
Like
know why I went wicked.
I believe it was done via rotary motion. The two statues were transported simultaneously.
Simultaneously? Get real! The statue would collide somewhere along the way.
Get real.
Did I ever say that there is only one line of wire between the two offices? If you tried an arrow at two ends of a wire tied to it, a circular belt can be formed. Now go back!
Lang Zi says, don't object and call a success what is beyond reasonability. There we go. Taking into account the tension difference between the two wires. The top one was sagged too much to the point where the statue will collide anyway.
Agent Lang! As you know, the Primadu's statue is a one-of-a-kind national treasure. In fact, the Babal statue is a hollow replica of the real statue. It would naturally be lighter than the real one, meaning that my idea is very possible.
Lang Zi says,
That's not a proverb, bitch. Here's what I believe happened.
Lang Zi says, fuck!
Miles Edwards says, bottom.
Lang says, fuck, he did not!
Oh no, we didn't. Absolutely not. I've been into a great many things. Being a furry is not one of them, weirdly enough. Walking me into being a furry. How much is a fursuit? I'm getting back to my life of crime!
Oh,
Miss Yu and her mystery co-conspirators set themselves up in two different rooms. The co-conspirator bridged the rooms by shooting two ends of the wire down on one arrow. Then the two of them covered the statues and proceeded to transport them.
It is Kristoff, Neo.
Oh, yeah.
After the switch was completed, another arrow was fired.
He looks high.
Yeah. We need more men in dresses.
Carrying the other end of the wire down to the ball, where it would be disposed of. And to do that, Miss Yu would hit it inside the grandfather clock, QED.
He got whipped.
This proves it, right, Agent Lang? That I'm not the killer!
Not yet, sis.
God damn it.
I still haven't had my dessert yet.
Fucking shove it down your face!
Right, Mr. Prosecutor?
Some fucking bitch, fucking...
Oh, so...
Just about to stop
Storms
using
out of the
foolish.
room. You can just hear her whipping people through the door.
You just hear it going like a 50-hit combo on someone.
Combo
Pudding,
breaker!
as it were.
Pudding is a nice dessert. So,
Kill!
do you think you can do it? Can you prove that what you said would happen? Because remember, if you can't, I'll be taking a certain someone back home with me as a souvenir.
You're not taking Von Karma away, bitch.
Yeah. She's gonna turn you into a fur coat.
I agree that as long as there's no proof, my hypothesis remains just that. However, what I've laid out is no mere hypothesis, for there is one more piece of evidence.
One more? This should be interesting. You say you have pieces of evidence that would turn your hypothesis into fact. Well then, let's see it, Mr. Prosecutor!
The thing that made it possible to create a circular belt out of a wire, I believe that is right here in this very room. Now then, I believe this is what made the circular belt transportation method possible.
The ceiling fan.
The ceiling.
Ha! Looks like you dropped another bomb on us again.
The last piece of to the trick are two pulleys.
Precisely. The ceiling fan doubles as a pulley in this case. And thanks to that fact, that there's one installed in each of the offices, the ceiling fan made for the perfect pulley set for the wire to run on. This must be it. This is how the smugglers bypassed the impenetrable security.
You really are something else, Mr. Prosecutor. I bet you figured it all out already, haven't you? You know who the big hotshot that set up the real-life stage show is, don't you?
person who set up this rather large and complex stage show needs to be someone who had foreknowledge of the existence of a ceiling fan in both Alabastian and Babalese offices. And the passion flower support sticks can be used as bolts. The real mastermind behind this case...
Well, don't you dare make this wolf wait for his food. As for realizing if he says that he's gonna cause an international incident.
Well, since he said that, we're waiting about 5 minutes. You play Fortnite?
Dang.
Why are you so hesitant, Miles Edgeworth?
Because he's a bitch.
If you can't say who it is, why don't you present something like you always do?
A single point of the finger here, and this case will explode into an international incident. However, it's already too late for me to stop the forward momentum. Let's go! International incident number 5! It appears I have no choice now but to rush in.
Rush me!
in!
Rush me!
Russia!
Rush me!
Russia! My god, it's the country of Russia! Get Putin on the phone!
Well, ironically, I've been given the character a Russian accent.
This smuggling could not have been possible without the use of that crossbow. Furthermore, the arrows that were shot by the crossbow. Bless you.
Bless you.
Hey,
Thank you.
You see someone online. Were plucked, as it were, from the flower box in this very room. They were planted so long ago that the passion flowers had grown so big that Miss Von Karma didn't even notice the arrows until she visited this room today. On top of all of this, the fact that the culprit knew both offices had ceiling fans shows that this person has had very detailed information on the embassy's layout. So as you may have guessed, the person I am accusing of hatching this plan is the person who grew the flowers in the flower box of utmost care. Thus it can only be you!
Corcus,
How the
Alaba.
fuck do you pronounce that?
Corcus.
What word?
Corcus.
Character?
Jessica Alba!
Oh yeah, it is Kirku.
Oops, I'm muted. Are you out of your mind, Miles Edgeworth?
Why are you accusing me, this old man, you fucking asshole?
Hey, what's the weight of that pull on that bowstring? Just curious. I'm certain of what I am saying, and I am sure that he is the culprit.
Tell me, Mr.
Anyway.
Prosecutor, what would the ambassador try to accomplish by doing all that stuff you just outlined? Why in the world would he need to use a trick like that?
I understand you'll need to doubt me. I'm just doing a few things. However, there's one thing that stands out to me as very odd.
Just one thing, huh?
I don't know why. It doesn't even
Just
matter how
one
hard.
thing. Just one thing. Who is there? Sorry. Jesus.
The one single end result of Ambassador Alba sought to obtain. If we were to examine the focus of this complex trick, I believe we will finally find the answer to everything. Take that! I would fully understand the reasoning had the situation been reversed. However, to go through the trouble of swapping the real Primadou statue for the fake, it's a very shady reason for such a bizarre action. And who better to ask for that reason than King Primadou himself?
I see. Ambassador, we'll be examining that statue now, with or without your permission. Yeah.
The guy kinda looks like the Steel Samurai, don't you think? Maybe it's because they look alike that he was picked to be the Goodwill Ambassador?
I suppose that's possible. Take a look at this area around the base of his neck. Looks like a gap.
Hey, you're right! Maybe it's meant to be some kind of secret.
Maybe it's possible to open this statue from this gap in its construction.
What?
Yo, please, we're very close.
Hurry up and opened it, Miles!
Alright, here goes.
Weenie Hut Jr. Wow, it really did open up! Hey, what's this thing that fell out?
I believe a more thorough examination of it is required. What the? This is...
Hey! Is this what I think it is?
It's a plate for making counterfeit bills!
Somehow, it appears we've reached... we're at the long last arrived... This has been written incredibly awkwardly. At the exit of this complex labyrinth.
Me, Miles Edgeworth, loves using big words.
Big words.
That's not the problem here.
It's still true, though.
We finally hold within our hands one of the counterfeit
extra.
money plates. Someone was paid by the letter.
For real.
The reason why the replica was smuggled into Alabasta to begin with. You could have cut out like half those words. The primitive statue can only be handled by the ambassador or the secretariat. And the replica is nothing more than a hollow shell covered in gold. These two circumstances made the statue the ideal object to hide the contraband. After receiving the statue containing the counterfeit plate from Shihina, the ambassador had the misfortune of accidentally running into Damask II. Surprised by the thief, the ambassador raised the replica statue at Damask II, and bonk.
Bonk.
In order to frame the steel samurai of the murderer, he covered the samurai sword in blood. Well, Ambassador Alba,
You're the leader of the smuggling ring? My country is a mess, and it's all because of you?
You! The one who killed the mouse too?
You.
You!
you.
I don't know what you're talking about. Russian babble.
Russian Badger?
Rah rah, Rasputin, Russia's greatest submachine.
There was a cat that really was gone! Fun fact, there is a cover of that song by the metal band Psoriasis.
Psoriasis? Girl, that's a skin condition.
Or is it Tertius? It's either Psoriasis or Tertius. I've heard it pronounced. It's either Psoriasis or Tertius. I've heard it pronounced both ways. Battle Metal is a great album. Answer us!
I never thought that you would figure things out to this level. However, there's one point I disagree with you on. The head of the smuggling ring was Mr. Colchin.
Quit screwing around! I have no sympathy for someone who will try to pass the guilt onto a dead man. If there is one thing I'm sure of, it's that you're the real ringleader, Corcus Alba.
It's not good to speak with such subjectivities, you know, Agent Lang.
Muted, by the way.
Subjectivity? My conclusion is anything but, and it's the result of logic and investigation.
Logic and investigation? Only seconds ago you were ready to arrest Miss Von Karma! I don't think we can get such flip-floppy logic any real way, do you?
Oh boy.
It looks like you still don't get why I came back. Excuse me? You see, the reason I came back is so that I could sink my fangs into your wrinkly old neck. From the very beginning, my real target has been you. What?
Agent Lang, I demand an explanation.
Sorry, sis, I didn't mean to put you through all that. I knew you were innocent from the very beginning.
Uh-huh, sure. You did?
I knew that this whole incident had been meticulously planned and prepared for. So naturally, the occupant of this room, Ambassador Alba, seemed the most suspicious. But without the Ambassador permission, we couldn't get in to take another look around. I can't tell if this man's stupid or a genius. Only Phoenix can pull this shit off. 7 years of mind game.
Ah, so that's why you put on this big show to accuse Francisco of murder. Using Francisca as the bait, you were able to gain us entry and investigative rights.
Yeah, if I hadn't done that, I doubt the ambassador would have given the okay to poke around. Okay, Lang, you're my favorite again. I forgive you.
And Neo died.
So that's what all this was about. Very well, I forgive you. But in exchange for using me as bait, you will take some responsibility and help us find the truth.
Agent Lang, for giving me such a great opening, I thank you. You're still the bottom.
You know, I just knew, Mr. Prosecutor, that somehow we were able to find some proof about investigating this room, that you will be able to figure out the real culprit with your special brand of logic.
What does that mean?
Bestie. From enemies to lovers?
No. Fuck no. Got that thing on me, and that thing is Phoenix's number. My apartment, bring the handcuffs. He just hangs up. The evidence detectives collect combined with the logic of a prosecutor. It's just as it should be in a prosecutor. Detective team, right?
I don't know
You're
about
not
all that.
communist, partner! No!
But one thing I do know is that I'm itching to see that old man get what's coming to him.
Oh, you're quite scary when you want to be, aren't you?
Hey! You were the one who was planning to use me to push all the guilt onto the sis. But unfortunately for you, you misjudged me.
Agent Lang, I wish for you to stop trying to intimidate me. What we need right now is evidence and proof. I wonder if you have what is necessary to prove that I am the head of the smuggling ring.
Neo, stop typing. Please.
Sorry. Don't be such a sore loser! If you really are the head of the smuggling ring, then you should acknowledge your crimes with dignity.
Dignity? That is nothing more than a fool's insincere display of strength. If you really wish for me to acknowledge my crimes, then I would like to first see some of this thing you call evidence. I tell you, I knew nothing. Really. I didn't even know that a counterfeit plate was hidden inside that statue.
You spot the real statue that invested in your country the authority to rule for a fake. It doesn't make any sense that you don't know anything.
It doesn't make sense. Where doesn't it make sense? Can you prove that it doesn't make sense?
I'm grabbing a knife.
Phoenix, go get me my gun.
Phoenix, DL6 gun.
Hangs
Where
up.
are we? Alabastian Embassy, throw it through the window. Hangs up. Grunk. I mean, the thing is pretty obvious.
He's really got us.
Like, hey, this thing guarantees us the right to rule.
He's turns the entire situation around against us.
The proof that Interpol has been after that which points to this man as the ringleader. If we can somehow find that proof now, we can see to it that justice is finally served. Is there nothing I can use to break this case wide open? The trump card and the videotape. With those two items, we might be able to finally bring this man down.
Oh. Sorry.
But the card is evidence from a case that Mr. Faraday hid away in secret. And the tape was stolen by Detective Bad from the police. They're both illegal evidence. Why is it going so slow?
I don't know.
No matter what, the prosecutor of the law cannot be allowed to use such pieces of evidence.
Needless to say, we Von Karmas are commanded to achieve nothing but victory, and by any means necessary. The only way to bring someone like that to justice was to do so outside of the courts. That's what we thought at the time. Technically, we're not in court, so... Free game.
Oh no. I no longer follow the path of Manfred von Karma. And I won't follow the path of the yatagarsu. This leaves me with what? What creed will I believe in? If I want to pursue the truth, then I will sully my hands in illegality. And if I want to pursue justice, then I will lose the truth. What is the law and what is justice? Hey, boss man, you having a soliloquy over there? Fuck off! And which path is the prosecutor supposed to follow?
Duh! Same!